Yeah, I mean, I feel that, whatever the numbers really don't matter to me. I feel that even if I'm able to motivate or inspire one person, that one person will make a lot of difference in his or her life. So I look at it from that perspective because, in the age of social media where people get disappointed by getting 10 or 15 likes, if you just have 10, 15 people in front of you appreciating you, your entire day becomes extremely positive. So I look at it that way. And I like people, I like talking, I like sharing my stories, whatnot. So yeah.
Also, I think you've been in that position, right? Like, not just in terms of your YouTube journey, but also in life. Also, you've been that small guy with big ambitions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember back in my early days, we used to literally, live in chawls, and I used to stay in Gorai. My parents used to stay in Gorai, and I was born in the chawls, so I saw everything around me, right from the rock bottom all the way till wherever I am. So life is very unpredictable. It has lots of ups and downs, and you just need to be grounded enough to face the realities of life, however they come.
Okay, so then this boy from this chawl gets offered a crore of rupees to let go of
Yeah.
his company, and then he says no to that money. That must weigh heavy on you, right?
So the chawl part was very early on in my life. I mean, it's been almost like 2 decades now. So that was more in my childhood. I would attribute all of this to my dad, actually. I've seen him struggle a lot. I've seen him go through that entire journey. And that sort of inculcated in me this sense of feeling of being grateful for whatever you have around you, because everything can be taken away and in an instant. Life is, as I mentioned, very unpredictable. And in terms of that particular incident, I remember, at that time, what you're referring to is this Bombay Founders Club podcast that I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
um, we had already raised a couple of rounds by that time, and we were at this position wherein the company needed cash more than me. I mean, I as a founder could survive by whatever ways and means I could. But this offer that we had received, it was not an offer for the company. It was for my personal shares. And for me personally, like getting a crore in my bank account and parting away with my equity wouldn't make more sense than having that crore in my company's account, because that would help me pay off people that are working for me, etc., etc. Rather than having that crore in my bank account for my vanity or luxury. I mean, even to this date, I don't have a fancy luxury car or something. I would love to. Definitely, I'm very materialistic as well that way. But I would love to have that as an outcome of the work that I do, and not some sort of an easy way out of this. And I think for me, the ambition is to build games. I've been developing games since almost 12 years now. And the deepest passion that I carry is for this one game that we are working on. It's called Mumbai Gullies. So I genuinely wanted my company to have that capital instead of me, and that's why it was more of a binary decision. It was very easy to say no, actually. So yeah.
No, no, I don't think it was easy to say no, but it made sense to you. Is I think what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Um, well, Nikhil. Okay, so before we address the elephant in the room, which is Mumbai Gullies, we'll get to that, but maybe a little later. First, I wanted to get to understand your approach to your work. So let me start there. Uh, I mean, the way I see your job is an extremely glamorous aspect. I mean, there are glamorous aspects to it for sure. There is a public facing aspect of it as well. What is the most boring administrative menial task that you like to do?
Scheduling and making sure that everyone is on the same page with each other, that's the most difficult part. I think to a certain extent we haven't been able to perfect that process yet, because there are a lot of moving parts, especially with the production cycle of Mumbai Gullies, wherein the biggest challenge is that a game like this has never been attempted before from India. So there's also that process of figuring it out, as we go ahead. Where so far we've developed mobile games for which the production timelines are very shorter. I like to involve myself in code as well. That is also something that I really enjoy. But I think most challenging aspect of this is to just make sure that the teams are working together and try not to be involved as much, but to make sure that the orchestra is still going on. So those decision making is something that I like to take on basically.
Since we are now on this topic, so so Mumbai Gullies, of course, I wanted to come to this later, but since we are on it now, so with Mumbai Gullies, I feel that you're talking about that one singular vision coming together, and how you're, I mean, I don't know, you're directing it. You were also talking about perfection, and that got me thinking about how you mentioned once that sound mattered to you a lot, and therefore you had people go out and record the original sounds, and it was all done originally. um, so I think you sit at the cross section of ambition, getting it perfectly right, and also budgetary constraints. How do you deal with that? Do you say to yourself ki Nikhil abhi thoda sa let go of perfection? I think, like, do you have that kind of an internal dialogue with yourself?
Yeah, of course. I mean, see, there were certain aspects of the production cycle that we just couldn't let go of, because especially with the sounds part that you mentioned, right? Sounds of Mumbai are not available as a library anywhere, right? So we right now have the biggest sound library of authentic Mumbai sounds, like the sound of a vada pav stall or the ambient sound of the streets of Mumbai. You just can't put any random sound out there and expect people to think that it is Mumbai. And at the same time, if you look at certain assets, like say, for example, certain buildings around you and all, those buildings are pretty generic. So you can actually do away with procedural generation and placing the buildings here and there. So that is something that, we are quite liberal with about the process, because you can make a city look like the city of Mumbai, but if you want to make it feel like the city of Mumbai, that sound is something that is very deterministic of that part. Uh, and yes, of course, there is a huge budgetary constraint. For people, when they look at the budget, they think that, oh, $1.5 million, a lot of money. It's not. Honestly, it's not, because there's so much processes that involve a lot of manpower and hard work. You have to budget out a lot of things, and in our case we have almost every time gone over budget. So hopefully, the goal is that after the first game we are able to generate enough cash flows that would then help us take care of the next games, because games of our scale require a lot of time and effort, even with the involvement of AI, for example. Like, people think that AI is going to magically solve a lot of problems. It's not. It's only going to help you speed up a few processes, but it's not like a game that is going to take 4 years to build can be built in like 3
6
or
months,
6
huh?
months. Yeah, or
Yeah,
six
yeah.
months for that matter, because it's a very creative process. Just talking about the processes itself, it's been a very fascinating journey. I'm extremely grateful that I've got to learn so many moving parts. There's story, there's game design, there is a system design that what goes into picture. Then we also had to battle through technical challenges within the game engine that we are using, optimization issues. It's very interesting. I think someone who is involved in the production pipeline only will be able to understand. And I don't think it is a problem for people outside of the production cycle to even care about. Like, as a gamer, what do you care? You're just waiting for the game. And I think I'm very grateful for the fact that people are still coming to me with good, bad, or ugly comments. Everything is welcome, and I always also respond to people as politely as I possibly can. But sometimes they get a bit nasty. Still, I try to maintain my composure. It's all good though.
It's very nice of you to say bit nasty. I mean,
Yeah.
to say it's just a little bad, but we know how bad the trolling is, and it's really bad. But before this, what you said, it was a huge information dump, and I am very curious to know. I just recently learned these terms in my research in for your podcast, which is game design and systems design.
Yeah.
That those are two aspects I'm really interested to know a little bit more about you. Also, because see, Mumbai Gullies again. The aesthetic is Indian, uh, but in terms of this game design and the system design, which is like not just the gameplay, but also like the skill tree or the points that you get, like the money that you get. Is it also something to like in parallel to GTA, or does it have like an Indian touch or an Indian aesthetic to it as well, or an Indian sensibility?
The core of it, if I were to define it, almost any game that is created in our genre, the genre itself is called GTA clone. If you
Okay.
like, GTA has become so massively popular
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they created an genre of themselves.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Like
yes, there are.
photocopies Xerox now, basically, like that.
Yeah, so there are elements like that. There is a wanted system, there is car driving mechanics, there is your character walking around, etc., etc. Those are mechanically there, okay. But in terms of, if I were to talk about the soul, I don't think we have showcased that in any of our demos so far.
Yeah.
So far we have only showcased design, system designs, or demo mechanics, that the character can walk around, etc., etc. We've never exposed the storyline of the game. We have never exposed the USP of the game, something that we are planning to do sometime around this year, and then we will be going to market. And I think that is something that we've purposely kept off, because that's the juice of the game. That's the main core of the game. So
Like, I want to know, can I haggle with the street vendors?
yes, that is actually one of the features. In fact, we demoed that feature as well once during a showcase, wherein you could actually bargain, and if you bargain too low, then the street vendor
Yeah.
might say some nasty stuff to you.
You need to walk away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there are certain features like that which are not present in other games that are part of our game, and very much Indian in that nature. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, one of the criticisms was that okay, I've seen a level of Bombay in Hitman, or I've seen Uncharted 4, like some DLC, but
Yeah.
this is the Indianness of it that I wanted to understand from you. Also, on that topic, see, when you started off with your dream of Mumbai Gullies, I know the story, I know the genesis of it, but that was rooted in that quote unquote GTA clone, kind of a realistic, natural, grungy, kind of like that gangster vibe. Cut to so many years later, we see FML, where you're a streetcar vendor and you're running at the speed of a car.
Yeah.
As fun and as amazing as that sounds, it is not true to the original vision, right?
Yeah.
So, do you kind of like look at it as a natural evolution? Do you see it as a compromise? How do you deal with that?
Sure. So, see, FML at the time when we had announced we had showcased a small demo at Comic Con earlier this year, when we just wanted to, we had basically just started doing certain experimentations with switching engines. Okay.
Yeah.
And we figured that if we are able to somehow get this done in Unity, it would be interesting to see multiple new games popping out of this, because the production timeline of Mumbai Gullies has taken a long time, and B, it is still going to take a little longer. So we basically just wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. It was a very simple game with use rehashing all the existing assets of Mumbai Gullies. The only roadblock that we came into picture over there was we were reusing the exact same map of Mumbai Gullies, and that was not the most optimized for a game like this. So we're thinking that we'll just probably focus on Mumbai Gullies as of now. FML in a sense, it's ready. but it requires more optimization for it to perform well.
Okay.
We think that we'd rather be better off just focusing on Mumbai Gullies first, getting that out, and then probably we will revisit FML again. But with FML, we've received some very interesting reviews from people. It's a meme game.
Yeah.
It's a meme game. FML literally stands for the full form of it. We're just spinning it around at fast motor lunatics. So we just wanted to take a jab at ourselves and kind of laugh with it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of pressure. There's been a lot of positivity and negativity all around. More so negativity. So we just wanted to have fun with the negativity and whatever. I
Yeah,
feel that there should always be dialogue. I firmly believe I have a firm philosophy. Acha bolo, bura bolo, but bolo. So the day that people stop talking, that is the day I will be very, very worried. And I still, fingers crossed that day has still not come. I still get a lot of comments on my YouTube. Mumbai Gullies kab aa raha hai? Mumbai Gullies ka kya hua? Mumbai Gullies this, that, people calling it a scam, whatever. I don't care. I mean, people are there, they're talking about it, they're calling it names, that's fine. Uh, I firmly believe that once the game is ready in all its shape and glory, people will love it. And I think just one message that I want to deliver to people is that you still haven't seen the full potential of the game, which is what we were struggling with to showcase properly in terms of what parts to show or not. But once it's out, I'm positive that people will love it.
Okay, so before we get to the backlash or whatever it is to Mumbai Gullies demos and all of that, I wanted to quickly address that. So, for all intents and purposes, we are dropping that kind of reverse DLC approach that we must have been adopting maybe 6 months back.
Yeah.
It's completely dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because I had
as in with the racing game, right?
Yeah, with FML and
Yeah. We internally decided that probably it will be best if we could reserve the entire map access, because we are literally exposing the entire map of the city to the players, and that might not be the most exciting aspect for people later on to find out.
Fair.
So we want to keep that spark alive, because we have created quite an extensive map actually. So there are chawls of Mumbai, there is Gateway of India, there is Marine Lines, a couple of shops around, then there's a Rajabai Tower, there's a proper cinema as well. So, we want people to explore these areas on foot and by interacting with the people. And I don't think that will be the best done while just whizzing across these monumental places that we've put so much time of and
You want them to discover it in the main game.
In the main game, yes.
Right. Makes sense. Again, before we get to the everything else, a quick word on AI. I know you've spoken about this, but I just wanted to understand that although it's not a magic potion that you can just implement it and the job is done, but between these four things, where do you think it will help a company that is kind of like dealing with frugality a lot? Where do you think it will help the most? I'll give you options: dialogue trees. AI art, assets, workflow automation, mocap, or something else?
Except mocap, all of the above, because mocap is more of a very human intensive process. But workflow automation for sure. Art assets, you already have generative art that you can use in ChatGPT. Or there are also 3D models, although they are not the most optimized as of now. But I think with the advancements, there will certainly be a couple of very interesting workflows that we'll be able to see. We did do tons of experimentation with AI and establishing them within our internal pipeline. So there have been a couple of breakthroughs that we were able to successfully do for the production pipeline. But I think it is not going to completely replace the effort of game programmers or game artists. You still need a person to give someone, work on those prompts and act smart, which is where I say that the foundational knowledge should be absolutely important. I read a LinkedIn post by a friend of mine, Anul Agarwal. He said that AI is going to convert a 10x engineer into a 100x engineer. whereas it is going to turn a 1x engineer into a 0.1x engineer.
Yeah.
So I feel that if you are lacking foundational knowledge, definitely you're going to struggle with the prompts because you don't know what to do,
Yeah.
right? But on the other side, if you know what to do, you can fix the code that gets generated with AI. I've personally done tons of experiment with AI in the last few months, so I can speak uh, with experience on this part. That I've experimented with tools like Cursor, with GPT, and then Claude Code and whatnot. The quality of code is not the best, I would say.
Yeah.
Although it would help you solve a lot of problems. So ideally, you have to go with it step by step. You have to handhold
Yeah.
the AI to get or extract exactly what you need. So I look at it that way. It's more of an enabler than a complete replacement tool for a human per se.
Yeah, absolutely. No, makes sense. So, a little word on mocap. I believe that, like, if I were to give, I'm a layman. You would have found out that by now. So when say I see an avatar and I see that James Cameron has spoken at length about how the expressions of the actors matter a lot and so on and so forth. Is that what we are trying to achieve with the mocap in Mumbai Gullies or in your other projects as well?
In the other projects, no, we mostly have like mobile games, so that they don't require mocap a lot. With Mumbai Gullies, yes, it's more from an expression perspective. I think that would become too expensive at this
Right.
for us. So for the first game, we are just focusing on the body movements and the hand movements. So
Okay.
we've got that sorted. But for the expression bit, I think perhaps in the next or the next to next part of the game, you will get to see that attention of detail as well. Because the process of mocap is also very expensive. You first you need the suit, you need the rental, you need the studio space, then you need the actors to come to that studio space. You need to pay for that entire day, their time, and that's not where the process ends actually. So even with motion capture, the raw animation data that you get, it's not clean data. Okay, you once you get that data, you have to manually sit with an animator. That animator needs to fix all of that data and make sure that it is coming out to be as per the expected output. So there's a lot of manual effort that goes into picture, and if something gets missed, then you have to go back and redo that portion again. So and that's the reason why it is such a manual process. It's not something that I would say can be automated at this moment, or at least I'm not aware of the technology that does this. Yes, there are small tools nowadays. You can do motion capture with your mobile phone as well, but that is very very basic. You don't get those granular hand movements or the gestures that you can do. It misses out on a lot of data, which can only be captured having a proper studio setup.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Nikhil, define fun.
Fun is excess of dopamine in your brain scientifically.
Uh-huh.
That is something that gets triggered due to a lot of reactions, especially in the world of computer games, wherein and this is something that, I've learned over the years, studying games like Candy Crush, studying games like Grand Theft Auto, all the spectrums, right? It is that one piece of activity that I also remember a quote by Einstein. It's like the definition of insanity, also quoted in the game Far Cry 3 by Vas Montenegro. Insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah.
But in video games,
That's fun.
That's fun. That's fun. So yeah, that's how I define fun.
But so it's repetition is fun, exploration is fun. Looking at say the gateway is fun for the first time in a video game. That's fun, right? Difficulty is fun. How do you get the users to enter that flow state where they spend like I see like I look at the time and it's 6 hours have passed. How do you do that?
It's to get users hooked onto your game very early on. And in mobile games, this is by actually tracking something known as retention. Actually, not in just mobile games, but even you can extend this to PC as well. It is how many people are coming back to your game over, the next day and the day after that, and so on and so forth. So it is a careful study of the flow of your entire game. What happens when the user comes to your game and he or she starts the game for the very first time? What is that activity that you're involving them with? Is the tutorial flow easy enough for the players to understand? Are you rewarding the player enough, or are you punishing the player enough? Like games like Sekiro, they are not
Yeah.
the most easiest to play, or even getting over it. But at the same time, games like NFS or Grand Theft Auto, they are more liberal, they are more forgiving for the first time player.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of both. It's either you punish the player too hard, or you give them things very easily. And there's also one more trick that developers use is by giving the most powerful piece of either weapon or equipment to the player, or powers to the player at the very beginning, and then taking it all away from them
Oh, right.
after some time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you remember in NFS Most Wanted,
yeah.
you had the most flashy car at the beginning, the BMW M3 GTR. And after that first race, that car is lost. So you
Yeah.
are in that hook, in that anticipation that sometime in later in the game, I will get access to this car and it'll be fun to drive. So then try to adjust yourself through the entire rules of the game, experiment with different cars, start off with the shittiest car, and then eventually rise up the ladder. So yeah, that's how the developers kind of involve players in different hooks.
Wow. No, I didn't really think about it like that. That's great. It's also how you make the game engaging, right? Like you'll have to think of the parts of it going forward, that it has to be an escalation of rewards. It also has to get, more and more difficult. At the same time, unique things need to be coming up, and variation is a big thing. People always complain that NPCs are not enough. There aren't enough types of villains and goons and all of that. So I'm sure that must also go into that as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, planning content is difficult. Progression is what the term is over here, and it's almost like going through the journey of life. When we start off as a kid, we first learn how to walk and talk, then we learn how to consume alphabets and numbers, and then we realize someday that alphabets and numbers are mixed up with each other in physics and maths. So that's a difficulty curve that we then are exposed to, and eventually our mind starts to get trained towards all of these data points, right? That's exactly what happens in video games, albeit at a much faster timeline. We go through life through years and years of our journey. In video games, that's within a couple of minutes or hours that you have to learn all of this data. So yeah, that's how it is.
Uh, okay, so when you're imagining this game to be, and I'm sure you have a very grand picture in your mind, and I'm sure a lot of things, sky is the limit when you're imagining, right? But when it comes to doing it, I'm sure you must have to be killing some creative ideas as well. So first, tell me how you get those creative ideas. That, you know what, I think I can add this and it'll be fun, and then how do you later on kill it?
It's all about scoping down the project, right? So first and foremost, we make a list of all the wish list features that we want to do, and then we start mapping out the efforts alongside them. After a while, it becomes very easy for developers to anticipate how much time a particular feature is going to take. Is it going to take 2 days, 3 days, a week, or a month, right? And then you pick your battles and you selectively fight those battles. For a game like Mumbai Gullies, that has been an uphill battle, because even if we cut down a lot of features, there are still certain essential features that absolutely have to be there in the game. That you can't just do away with them. So because that game is a collection of multiple games. I mean, open world game is one of the most complex pieces of games that one can ever attempt. I mean, in hindsight, we would be probably better off attempting a few indie games. As that would help us refine more in terms of our capability.
Or like
But
a closed open game, like
yeah, that and I think it's, if I were to just list down the systems, right? There's car driving. There is, within car driving, there is entering the car, detecting if someone is inside the car. If there is, then drag them out of the car. Is the car parked or not? Then the ignition system of the car. How does the car start? The sounds of the car. Then within the car, there is a radio stations, right? So switching of the radio stations. What happens once you exit the car? Does the radio stop inside the car, or is it something that is playing in the background as an illusion for the player to think that it is inside the car?
Yeah.
Then collisions of the car with the pedestrians.
Denting.
Denting. Then within the car, there is also the vehicle police system, right? So that is also a subset of the car. Then AI traffic, cars driving by themselves, and then we had showcased one of the demos wherein we had a system wherein the cars were driving by themselves and there was nobody inside the car. So the cars were actually literally running by themselves.
Yeah.
It can only happen in video games or nowadays in San Francisco where
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
shows and all. But it's impossible for that to happen in Mumbai with our amazing roads,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
However, that's how incrementally games are made. Like people might think that magically you just sit and click a few options here and there, and then suddenly a car gets created with all the edge cases sorted. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen like that. You have to carefully understand, and it's like okay, I'll make a very bold statement over here. I feel computers are dumb. Okay, computers are dumb primarily because you need to feed them every single data that happens. And the fact that computers are dumb is, um, how do I frame this? Bugs inside a game occur because of broken rules that we as humans feed to the computer,
Right.
assuming that the computer will
Will
handle
understand. Yeah.
and understand every other edge cases. That might happen in the future with AI, wherein
LM. Yeah.
there is a lot of intelligence built into in LMs and machine learning coming into picture. But inherently, if you see any kind of bugs inside a game, that is just a logical step that a person missed telling the computer that this also needs to happen.
Yeah.
For example, collisions. If you can see a player going through the walls, that is something that the developer missed observing during that playtesting. It is it is something that got missed out as a detail because there are tons of other things as well. So this bug is something that visually might not make sense to the player, but for the computer it makes sense. I don't have a collider. That's why I will let the player pass through it.
It's not my fault. This is what the computer is
It's not
saying.
my fault, is what the computer says. Yes.
Yeah. So
It's not me, it's you.
so then, how do you then uh, pay attention to it? Like, how do you make sure that these bugs don't happen?
By constantly getting negative feedback from the players, which is super important actually, because it's okay to have a negative feedback during the development cycle instead of having the same thing after the game is launched. Because in life we, like especially in India, we grow up with a mindset that failure is bad. We shouldn't fail. We should be prepared at all times to be the best in whatever we do. There's a lot of what you could say, hard expectations that are put on us. But life doesn't work that way. Life will throw all sorts of challenges at you at the most random times, and you need to be prepared for it. And that's same with the development cycle of a game. You need to expose your game to people. You need to playtest it multiple times, understand what is going wrong, because honestly what happens is during the development cycle you get blinded towards a certain aspects of it. Like say for example, even this happens across all the professions. You're working in that environment in for such a long time that certain things start to make sense to you and you start to ignore them over a period of time. And then suddenly tomorrow there's a huge change, and you still continue on that same workflow without being exposed to that one flaw. So someone actually has to tell you that this is what has changed. You need
Yeah.
to adapt yourself. And that's what happens
Like
in video.
changed in the sense like the world has moved on and maybe you're still stuck in that, like that kind of thing.
Uh, okay, I'll give you an example. Like
Yeah.
in the development of video games. So let's say, for example, I did an interview with one developer, Ahad Umar Boy. It's on my channel as well. He said that he had like in the minimap indicator, he had placed the player as a red dot
Okay.
and the enemies as the blue dot. Now,
Oh,
inherently, we as players have associated
red
red
with villain. Huh.
as enemy, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
blue as a safe color.
Hmm.
So people started pointing at that out to him that this is a bug. Although for him it was not a bug, it was something that he had kept and he had almost forgotten that that also exists like that.
Right.
So till the point of time someone points out the obvious to you, you still live in that small bubble that things are working fine. So you absolutely need playtesting for people to tell you that this is what's wrong.
Yeah, but see, you could do that playtesting behind closed doors, get like some agreement signed, and make sure that these people don't speak a word out. But
Yeah,
there's something else. There's a completely different beast when you do it live on like YouTube and people
yeah.
are commenting. And so, why that choice?
Uh, so earlier, like when I started my journey, I wanted to be completely transparent about this mammoth of a task that we are taking. Although in hindsight, I started to understand that, probably that was not the best approach to make. That is why we stopped sharing the public demos from our side. So we still do showcases at conferences now, but I think for a game of our scale, putting things out on YouTube was not the best thing because you know, yes, it is one thing for us to get feedback as developers, but as a side outcome of that, what happened was people start to judge the game, assuming that this is going to be the final
Final
quality,
thing, yeah.
right? If you were to look at certain prototypes of bigger games, like I saw the prototype of Spider-Man, I saw the prototype of God of War,
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, Wolverine just leaked and it was on the same map as
Yeah,
Spider-Man. Yeah.
yeah. So you know, people are consumers, and I don't blame them at all. It is not their fault. They are consumers. They have the right to judge whatever they see, right? So I think it is our responsibility as developers to selectively showcase when we are ready. Because that's the point of a showcase, to make an announcement, to create that excitement. And I would accept in hindsight that it was a little bit of my fault to do that. And that is primarily the reason because of all the for all the backlash, essentially, because we showcased a quality that is not finished, and people assume that it is going to be the final quality, which was not the case. And then I just have to do a lot of firefighting now, which is okay. I mean, that's my thing. That's what I bought on myself, so I have to accept that. I can't blame the audience.
You expected the people on the internet to be kind to you. That was your that was
Yeah,
your mistake.
yeah. I expected that people would understand, but it is okay. It is not their responsibility or their job to understand. It is my responsibility to understand the audience and give them what they want.
That's kind of a big of you. But you spoke about firefighting. What are the skills of a good firefighter?
To just understand where the root of the problem is, and go at that root and pour water over there rather than splashing everywhere else. I think that is what is required, because if you're not able to identify the root cause, it might be yourself. It might actually be your lack of skills that you have to identify and face with it. And if you are uh, open and transparent about it with at least with yourself, and the people who are supporting you, then it doesn't matter, because there have been challenges, and we've also raised capital, right? So we have some amazing set
Pressure.
of investors. I wouldn't call it pressure as such, but they've been very supportive, to be very honest. Like, even with all the backlash that's going around, we have some amazing investors who've been patient with us since day one and through all the mistakes that we did. And I feel very grateful um, to have such an amazing support ecosystem around, because that is absolutely what is required, including your team members and your family members and your close and loved ones who uh, and even your friends for that matter. So yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I mean, to answer in a short sentence, yes, a skill of a good firefighter is to identify the root of the fire and then go after solving that rather than spraying around everywhere else.
And see, this is another maybe like a little bit of a philosophical question, but so you and your image and your name is being milked for money and views by these other people in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I am also taking advantage of your name. You are
Mhm.
taking advantage of your name.
Yeah.
You're running a YouTube channel, so you know what your name means.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Like, just when you see that there is a thumbnail which has like Mumbai Gullies and Nikhil name splashed over it, and do you see it as a compliment? Do you see it as an issue?
Uh, it's just an outcome of the image that I've been trying to build. Not particularly in this light that is happening right now, but this is something that I've worked for. I want people to know me, and I don't want to wake up one day and look for Nikhil Malankar and there are no search results. I would rather be happy seeing those thumbnails here and there, because public perception changes. I've seen that so many times, with the ups and downs happening here and there. Public perception is something that is a byproduct of the actions that you take on a daily basis and them being compounded over a period of time. So I look at it from a perspective of staying relevant uh, throughout the journey. Like, yes, there are going to be ups and downs, but when there are going to be downs, you still have to persevere through them, and sometimes that is a part and parcel of the life that I choose. So it doesn't matter. I'm okay with it. I've never reported any video. I've never tried to take down any video as such. If there are certain things that I feel are wrong, I voice my opinion on it. I either reach out to the creator, or I type down a comment down in the video. But I think it's fine. People have the right. We live in a democracy. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, as they should be. Uh, if it gets abusive, that's on them. It doesn't speak on my behalf. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't say that I like the kind of attention that is happening right now, but it's fine. It is a part and parcel of the life I choose.
Is being famous or being known part of your definition of success?
No, not particularly. People are famous for all kinds of nasty stuff as well.
Infamous, yeah.
It's yeah, it's to do with what you started out to do, and have you been able to achieve that. And success, I think, is a mix of uh, someone who's not at all famous, and has a decent life for themselves is also successful. Someone who's earning, say, 30,000-40,000 a month and runs a good family, is happy with their parents, their wife, or the kids, or whatever, they are successful. So success is very relative. For me, success will be to see Mumbai Gullies in a decent shape and form. And then, growing the ecosystem that of games that are coming out of India, which is also a small direction that we are taking right now, is the
Publishing.
on the part that you mentioned. Yeah,
Yeah.
the publishing aspect. I've realized the one thing that, whatever I'm doing, it does get me attention. So why not use that attention to divert people to different interesting avenues that can grow the overall gaming ecosystem. So I'm doing a bunch of stuff, like publishing is there. We announced the publishing of Hello Anxiety, this new puzzle RPG game. Then I'm also doing a bit in the edtech space, with couple of upskilling courses. I'm supporting, like I'm, helping out a couple of indie developers as well, on and off here and there. So yeah, that is success for me. I mean, I'm in a way, I mean, I'm actually living my life, uh, even though I'm not a billionaire or millionaire or so. But I think I'm having fun with it.
That's great to hear that. Just a quick query, technical query before we jump back to the other bit. Why not make Mumbai Gullies mobile when 95% of the people in India are playing mobile games?
So we do have plans to get Mumbai Gullies on mobile, but that is once we are done with the PC and console version. There are two reasons for it. First one, I firmly feel that if Mumbai Gullies were to come on the mobile, we will actually have to change a lot of game mechanics that will make sense for a mobile game. That involves time and effort and rethinking certain aspects of the game. Second part is the optimization, because what works on a PC and console will not necessarily work properly on mobile, and that is something that we've actually, when we switched between engines, we also realized that the game still lags. So that takes a little bit of time and effort to bring in on mobile. Yes, it will get even more distribution than a PC and a console. I 100% agree on that part. But on the same side, I don't think people will particularly enjoy playing Mumbai Gullies on a mobile phone. Although from a product perspective, definitely that is in our pipeline moving forward. However, I don't remember the last time I played GTA San Andreas on mobile phone and enjoyed. Although I did download it and purchase it from Google Play. Uh, but it is an immersive experience that you can enjoy at a leisure point. With mobile, what happens is you are riddled with a lot of notifications, calls, and whatnot, and that hampers the gameplay experience. It's good for casual games like your Candy Crush and your Flappy Bird and your, uh, you know, what other Clash Royale and all, right? Those are casual games that people are okay to play during their short breaks and all. But for games like us, there is an immersive storyline, there's dialogues, there is decisions that you need to keep in your mind that will make sense later on. So it is a patient, it's a game that you play with a lot of patience. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I give you an idea and you tell me why it's a bad idea.
Sure.
Okay, so this is Mumbai Gullies Battle Royale. It's on a phone, and it's a, what do you call, a mid-core game with maybe in-app purchases, and you get like a million downloads the first day, and you create retention the following week. What's the
Yeah.
harm in that?
We do have a couple of certain ideas on this part. In fact, we had a small game called Mumbai Matter, which we were experimenting for mobile platform back in 2021, 2022. But then, somewhere down the lane, we shifted our entire focus to Mumbai Gullies as a game. On that note, actually, we do have a couple of small games that we are also now putting out on mobile platform. We are just in the process of reviving our older games. We put out a game on cricket. We did a game on Holi. So the idea that you said, actually, we have a game like that ready, which has a very much smaller map,
Okay.
and the game is called Mumbai Matter.
Okay.
So the reason why we are calling that as Mumbai Matter is whenever some bad stuff happens, या फिर कुछ ऐसा much हो जाता है, we say कि matter हो
Matter
गया,
हो
यार
गया.
यहाँ पे matter हो, matter हो गया. So a game like that exists, yes, and you probably might get to see that live on Google Play Store, because now we are also launching some smaller games, right? So the way that we are balancing it out is that we have a team that is completely dedicated for Mumbai Gullies, the bigger game, and then there's a smaller team that is churning out these small titles that we feel can work out well in the market. So yeah, I mean, on that note, it's great. I think I've not talked about this game in the past before, so probably your podcast is going to be the first one where we are going to.
Yeah.
So people are actually going to see that game live in the next few months.
Okay, great. So happy to hear that. Yeah, I mean, Speaking of your team, we have 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of
Yeah.
of your team management and stuff like that, there's one thing that, I mean, you're listening to it and you're keeping yourself motivated and all of that, but then you go to your office and you face your team members. How do you do that? Like, how do you keep them motivated and their morale up?
Oh, they are self-motivated. They're the best people that I can think of that I'm working with. They realize the difference clearly, and the reason. And most of the people who are working for me are actually, in a way, some of my subscribers. So they believe in the vision. They believe they've come here for a purpose, and they are equally excited for the vision than what people are talking about me in general, because whatever people are talking about me does not really reflect on the work that we are doing, and we know that we are doing good work internally, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't have to sit down and have a dialogue with them, and every time someone makes a comment on me, I don't worry about what they will think.
Explaining it to them.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like, yeah, I don't think I can explain that, but I think it's just working out effortlessly for me.
Wow. You're very lucky in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me just go through it once. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, so this is actually my last question on paper, which is Nikhil, I'm sure you have a great support system of investors, your wife, your family, your colleagues, and your people who work for you. But how do you define this thick skin? How do you get to this thick skin, this resilience, this perseverance? How do you keep pushing through all these difficulties which are happening in public?
See, I don't think there is any other alternative. Honestly isn't.
No, there is giving up. You can give up. You can say that I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm bye. You can say that.
I know, but I don't want to give up. I don't think that is something that I would be able to live with myself. Because this is something I started with, and I need to see it to the outcome. Uh, and there's a lot of responsibility beyond that, because here is something that I started that people really showed a lot of support for. There's a lot of belief in the game, and people genuinely do want to see the game come out. And it is a big responsibility to take and see it to fruition. So yes, giving up is an option, but I don't think that is an option for me. So, navigating through the ways, we figured out how we can kind of, come up with the completion of the game, and then refining the roadmap and all. And I think we are at a position where, after lots of experimentation, we are at that position wherein we have clear timelines. So, like just a few days ago, I put out a story with our internal production pipeline, blurring out all the months, because nowadays I don't want to commit to a timeline. But
I saw
internally, we do
minus
have
25 on Mocap, right?
that. Yeah, that was the previous one. That was
Yeah.
basically just a meme. Actually, if I were to talk about that particular slide, the progress at Mocap is currently at 0%. Like, we didn't reach that stage yet. We're done with the sound capture and all. And a lot of people also had a doubt on that part, that how have you completed the sounds before the mocap? So that, like, it's very straightforward. Like, like, production pipeline works in mysterious ways. You can have mix and match stuff. So anyway, that was there, and the one that I'm mentioning is just a small story that I had put out. So it is not posted anywhere. I had placed hearts on the months so that people would not figure out.
Yeah.
It was like half heart, then a little full heart, and then towards the end, full heart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I forgot the question.
The question was, how do you keep going?
I love what we are building with the game, and I think we've had a lot of fun with the processes. We've got a lot of interesting stuff that we want to show to the audience. So just looking forward to the day and persevering through come what may, like it's difficult at times, but there is the only alternative is giving up, which I don't want to. So then you just keep going.
Do you have a healthy relationship with this project, or do you think you're like your sense of worth is attached to it in a way? Like if there was no Mumbai Gullies, there would be no you. Is that a feeling?
No, not at all, not at all. Because I look at it the opposite way. When I started my YouTube journey, there was no Mumbai Gullies. I scaled up my channel from 0 to 20,000, and at 20,000 subscribers was when I announced Mumbai Gullies.
Okay.
So yes, Mumbai Gullies has now become a big part of my life, because from the 20,000 to the 100,000 that grew, a majority of the portion of the people are associated with my channel for Mumbai Gullies.
Yeah.
But I think once the game goes out, whatever the outcome may be, good or bad, I think that will be a full stop, and it will be a new journey as well. So no, I'm not like extremely overly attached to the game as such. I'm passionate about it, yes. But tomorrow, if something goes south, it's one of the products of the many that I have planned in my life. So yeah.
I'm really glad you have that clarity within you. That's really healthy to see. That's a good example. Thank you so much, Nikhil. I am done with my line of questioning. I hope I haven't bothered you a lot. If you have any feedback for me, please let me know. But before that, let me tell you that I'll be surely lining up for the day when Mumbai Gully comes out. So please do it for me. If not for anybody else, please also do it for me.
Thank you so much. As I said, like that one person is also enough.
I'm that person. You can think of me as that person. Thank you so much, Nikhil. If you have any feedback for me, please let me know. I'll do everything I can to make things right.
No feedback as such. I had a good time chatting with you. I look at it more from a conversational perspective. As I said, I like talking to people, so it was fun. And I think the line of questioning was also pretty good. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. If you learned something new from this episode of the Horsemouth podcast, do rate and review us on Spotify, Instagram, X, or wherever people engage with you the most.